You're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Breaking the Ice. It's been quite a while since I've been back here, everybody. So I'm back, Connor Cupin in studio, your host, with Matt Vitale on mic 3. How's it going, my man?
It's going well. Glad to be back. Free agency episode today.
Dude,
Excited. A lot to get into.
So we didn't have a show last week, and the draft was the 2 weeks ago show, and that was a phenomenal show. Shout out everybody, and I mean everybody that was there, because I couldn't be there because I was stuck in Florida because my flight got canceled. So AJ, Daniel, Justin, Ryan, and Cam were here, and they did a phenomenal job. When I can host a show without even being there, when I can have a show and I don't even have to be there, that's how you know that your crew is absolutely elite. So thank you guys so much for pulling your weight on that one, because I didn't do a single thing. I just sat there on a Zoom call. And now we're back. I'm behind the board again with Matt. We're in the dark today. We got TMZ on the TV. Things are going good. But you know what else is going good? It's like the season never dies. The off-season comes right after the season ends. You probably get like 2 weeks of nothing.
That's right.
And then, boom, July 1st hits, and the NHL off-season just comes flooding through the doors. It's like instantaneous. You don't even know where to begin. And I'm going to get all the good stuff because we have 2 hours of free agency to cover. Not even just free agency, anything that's happened. Anything that has happened since the draft. It doesn't even have to be free agency, because free agency started after that draft episode. So we got 2 hours. I'm going to go signing by signing. I mean, like, we're going to go down the line here. First one, a former MVP has been signed to the Chicago Blackhawks. 1 year, $4 million for Corey Perry.
He never goes away. He's still kicking. I don't know. I see him a little bit as a dirty player at this point, but used to be really good, obviously. And he's still getting $4 million. That's pretty crazy.
It's a former Hart winner, but like, you forget this man was even a Hart winner.
Yeah. $4 million for, I don't know, how old is he? He's got to be close to 40.
All right, let's check it out. What do you think he is? How old do you think he is?
I'm going 36.
36. Okay. Corey Perry, who, by the way, this guy was on every Stanley Cup loser of the past, like, 3 seasons, 4 seasons.
Yeah.
He is 38.
Wow.
Because he was on the 2020 Stars, the 2021 Montreal Canadiens, and the 2022 Tampa Bay Lightning. That's talent. That actually takes talent to pull something like that off. But he won the Hart, I believe, in 2011. Phenomenal season for him there. But outside of that, he's only a 4-time All-Star as a whole. So like, he had one insane season that got him the MVP. And then after that, he sort of just... He was good again in 2014, but he was solid in 2016, solid in 2008, but he just had one phenomenal season.
Yeah. Those Duck days were something special back then. But.
And he has got obviously a great OHL career, as does every NHL player has a phenomenal OHL career to them.
Yeah.
But Corey Perry to the Blackhawks for $4 million. Connor Bedard, Corey Perry teaming up in Chicago. And first off, you weren't there for the draft special. I want your draft thoughts. I want your thoughts on I believe, which kid went to the Rangers?
It was
his name
Perreault.
Evan. No. What's his name again? What's his first name? Gabriel
Perreault.
Thoughts on that and the draft as a whole?
I thought, first on Perreault, I thought that was crazy because he has the most points in the U.S. national development team history, even more than Patty Kane. But that's everybody on that line all had a crazy amount of points. Well, that's USA, obviously, just better than almost every team they're going to come up against. They're going to smack them. But I thought that was crazy to get a guy like that who's got that much production at pick 23.
Slip for sure, and they pounced when they could.
They did. Fantilli fell to 3.
Who had pick
that was
3?
Columbus.
Right.
Yeah, that was interesting. They're happy, I think, getting him. I'm not sure if they did. If they thought they were going to. But
oh, no way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Metro now getting stacked up? We had Matvei Michkov selected to the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, little
you
fall.
had Fantilli now to Columbus instead of the San Jose was picked 2? They got Leo Carlson, right?
I believe so.
Was it San Jose? Why am I tripping right now? Hold on. Hold
No,
on.
it was Anaheim. Anaheim.
Anaheim, right. So the Metro got all these players.
The Sharks got Will Smith. He was on that line with Perot. And I forgot who the third one was on. I think he got drafted too tonight, in the draft.
During the live draft coverage, everyone was like, the Arizona Coyotes are selling hard. Because they picked Simshev, 6th overall, and then Daniil Boot, 12th overall. Two guys, which I think Boot was like a second-round prospect.
Yeah, and a big reach.
And so what are your, if you pay attention, like what are some of your winners of the draft and some of your losers of the draft, if you have any?
I think the Flyers getting Michkov at 7. Like I get, there was obviously some character issues. I think that's what caused him to fall, but just the talent-wise, like he would be a number 1 pick in some drafts. I think, like a couple years
Just without
ago,
Connor Bedard
unfortunately Connor Bedard and Fantilli and all those good players, but I think he could have been like a number 1, number 2 overall pick in a different draft. So they're definitely a winner for me.
Well, man, that was the draft, but we had a whole special on that, and that's up on the YouTube channel for anyone wanting to check that out. But aside from that, we can keep going because another thing I feel about, we could just go down the list of every signing if we do. If we want to go every signing, it'll take care of all that. Another good one here, underrated re-signing here. The Carolina Hurricanes re-signed Jesper Fast, a 2-year, like $4.8 million contract.
I have a lot of respect, yes, for former Ranger. He was great when he was with the Rangers, and he's a great like 3rd line, 4th line checker. They'll just forecheck, and he's really just a pain to play against for the other teams. And the Hurricanes splashing out money everywhere. Well, I'm sure we'll get to some of their other contracts later in the show.
We'll get there. Jesper
They
Fast
were
was
splashing
nasty in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's just a good player. Like he's a solid guy. I'd like him on my team for sure. No doubt about that. There were a lot of buyouts. Preds buying out Matt Duchene the last 3 years of his contract. Underrated thing, Marcus Nudavara retired, and he was a Florida Panther a couple years back. He's only 29 years old. So, congratulations on some retirement there from Marcus there. Little small signing, Noah Juulsen, 2-year, $775K per season. A defenseman, it's a 2-way extension though, so there's a lot of 2-way extensions. I'll try to stick to the 1-ways if I could really even and find out the 1-ways. Matthias Janmark, a 1-year contract with the Oilers, 1-year, $1 million deal. But I'm looking for, there's a lot of 2-ways. A ton of 2-way contract. Aiden Hill.
Yeah.
Let's get to that one real quick. A
Deserved.
2-year, $9.8 million contract. So he's going to be their goaltender for the foreseeable next 2 seasons at least.
I think he totally earned that.
He earned it, no doubt.
Oh, 100%.
$4.9 million for the Stanley Cup champion goaltender. Wow. He probably, without the playoffs, what do you think he would have gotten?
Like, probably 2 or less. Maybe like 2.5.
He just more than doubled his salary in a playoff run, which resulted in the Stanley Cup championship. So you can't, good for the kid. Good for the kid. He checked out what he could. So for all the other goalies on that team, sorry, I guess. Like Logan Thompson, sorry. There's no room no more. There is no room no more. And let's keep going. A ton of 2-ways. Like, here's one though. Tyler Tucker, 2-year, $800K per season. So 2-year, $1.6 million contract. 1-way contract with the St. Louis Blues. He's a defenseman. Surely going to help them out there. And it's weird how they obviously get less money if they're with their AHL contracts because they're playing in the AHL. So those are all listed. So now here's another goaltending signing, the Seattle Kraken. I'm going through all the re-signings right now, not even the free agency period yet. So Joey Decord, a 2-year, $2.4 million contract to be backup goalie in Seattle. I think that's solid.
Solid for a back. Yeah, that's about what they're paying now. So
it's 1-way contract, no doubt. But so moving up now to the free agency stuff, like the first one. Well, Detroit re-signed Klim Kostin, 2 years, $4 million contract. Solid move for Detroit here, but it was like a sign-in trade, I believe, with Edmonton, because other than that, there's a ton of one-way contracts here. Gustav Lindstrom, a 1-year contract with the Red Wings, and then Eric Brandstrom, 1 year, $2 million deal with the Senators.
A lot of 1-year deals getting thrown out.
Everywhere. Literally, constantly. I believe the Senators signed Jacob Bernard Docker to a 2-year, like, $1.6 million contract. So they're cheap. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson to Florida.
That's a big one.
1 year, $2.25 million. Now, he is a defenseman, which is what this team needs. Florida's defense, they are in need of a top 4 D-man. That is one thing that they have a need for. They have Ekblad, they have Montour, and they have Forsling. But with Radko Gudas going, and we'll get to that contract in a sec.
Indeed.
Radko Gudas is gone, but he was the third pairing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Oliver Ekman-Larsson 1 year could totally help.
I really like it's nice risk reward. It's only a 1-year deal, $2 million, and he's been in the past one of the best defensemen in the league. Now they're hoping he could get back to that, and
we can take that because that's something Florida's over the years they've had a great offense. It's just been like their defense that's been lacking. But this year in the playoffs, it was the other way around. Their defense was rock solid and goaltending. So I guess it just depends. I guess Vegas clearly not the case, but everything falls eventually. You can't win everything.
That's right.
But Oliver Ekman-Larsson, I'm a fan of this move, and I hope it works out for the better. I'm anything to get this defense in shape is what I need. I need this in my life. Ryan Reeves, 3-year, I believe it is a $4 million contract. A 3-year, $4 million contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ryan Reeves, he doesn't even have to be on the ice for his impact to be felt. You know that if you do something and they got Reeves on the bench, he's coming for you later in the game. He just brings that presence with him.
But Toronto.
Yeah, to Toronto. Maybe they need a little physicality.
Like, I feel like it's just like Toronto's always the center of drama in this league, quite literally. They always got the media on them for choking, not winning games in the playoffs. And now they got, more drama-filled talent on their roster. So penalties are coming. Penalties are coming. And then, of course, all the entry-level contracts, like Adam Fantilli signing his contract. Antti Raanta, 1 year, $1.5 million deal with the Hurricanes to be backup goaltender again. So
they also brought back Freddie Anderson.
Yeah.
2 years, 3.4.
2 years, 3.4. He was so good 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
He
was really good.
Unreal season, and then it was definitely 2 years ago he had an unreal season. And then he just sort of like became a platoon. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It was really fast. But
they're still banking on him to be their guy.
Nathan Bastian back in New Jersey. 2 years, $2.7 million.
Mikey McLeod as well.
Mikey McLeod as well.
1 year, 1.4.
Here's a bigger one. Predator signed Luke Shen. A 3-year, $2.75 million every year. So it's more on it's 3 years, $7 million, seven and change type deal. Luke Shen to the Preds. Your thoughts?
The Predators have been. I don't really know what they're doing. The first they got rid of. They bought out somebody.
We'll get to it probably.
That was on there. Duchesne, we already talked about that.
Yeah, Matt Duchesne, 3 years.
So I thought they were trying to, build it down a little bit, get some young guys, and now they're signing Luke Shen. They signed Ryan O'Reilly. They're getting some older guys in there. I also they changed the cap rule, right? Each team has to spend like 80% or something of their cap, or 90%. And so I think this year you're seeing guys get more money just to get over that line, just to get over the line of the rule. So,
dude, the cap in the NHL, I just hate how it goes away when playoff time comes around.
Yeah.
I don't know how that doesn't seem correct.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't get it either.
You could just play with whoever you want in the playoffs. Like, I remember Tampa. Okay, like Tampa Bay when they won in 21, they just activated Nikita Kucherov
for
for
free.
the playoffs.
For free, and got to keep everybody. They brought guys in to fill his role, and they
it's
got
like,
to keep him and have him back. I mean, it was crazy.
Like, you can't just activate the former MVP off the bench. Like,
There was a lot going on. It was
get,
COVID.
How is it to just get an MVP? You just get an MVP for the playoff run.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of... He was coming off... I think he was 2 years removed from that MVP season when he won the Hart Trophy. When the injury happened, and he just got to just jump right into their lineup.
And they got to keep everybody. It would be fair if they were able... They get him off of injury, but then they got to shed the cap.
Shed the other guys.
And no, they
But
didn't.
They got to keep every player that they... Like, ew, God. So, whatever. But I think the Panthers did the same thing last year, like with Aaron Ekblad in 2022. But whatever. It's all good. Toronto now losing another player to the Predators. Ryan O'Reilly. 4-year, $18 million contract. 4 years, $18 million. $4.5 million per season. Toronto's losing people and gaining people, but they're getting the wrong guys.
Yeah. That was they traded for him at the deadline, I believe.
Ryan O'Reilly from St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah,
So they couldn't keep him.
He was a bit hurt this year. I think he's still maybe got a little bit left in him. He's getting up there in age too. He's definitely over 30.
What's Nashville building here? What's going on?
I'm not sure. I thought they were trying to get younger, and now they're signing older guys. So I don't know. I feel like sometimes you gotta break. They're trying to compete still. I don't know if they're ready to compete year after year. I think at some point you got to try to rebuild, get the young guys in there.
Now
they refuse to. So we'll see how
they
it works.
refuse to. Roman Yossi still. Roman Yossi, UC Saros is a big 1-2 defensive
Yeah.
combo.
Oh yeah.
But now Barry Trotz is over there, so he'll make stuff happen. I have faith. And that guy, I wanted him in Florida, honestly, but didn't happen that way. So now Boston signing here, Jamie Van Riemsdyk, 1 year, $1 million, $1 million. I think that's a solid deal.
I hear Boston apparently is going to have a lot of money next year to spend.
Okay.
I've seen Bruins fans were kind of freaking out. They were like, because they obviously had one of the greatest regular seasons ever, and then lose to the Panthers round one, and now the fans aren't thrilled with the moves they're making, so they're kind of freaking out.
Dude, that was the biggest collapse ever, and they didn't even get to keep some of those free agents that we'll get to later. But the Panthers signing here, Kevin Stenlund, 1 year, $1 million. I don't even know this guy. So, yeah, he's a Winnipeg Jet. Let's get to the Rangers signing here. Blake Wheeler.
That was huge.
1 year, $800K.
I was not expecting that at all.
Like, $800K?
Yeah, he was. I think it was the Daily Faceoff had a top 75 free agent list. He was number 6, and they were projecting him to get like 4, 5, 6 million. And Rangers get him for it. He is old though, but I think for 1 year, $800K, that is great value.
Yeah, like that is ridiculously cheap. And where does this move the needle for the Rangers? Like, how is this going to help? How will this help their team? What line is he going to play on? What are your expectations?
I think he's going to be on, probably we're going to try to start him at 3, and hopefully, as I've been preaching every time I'm on the show, that we let the kids cook and let them get the first and second line minutes. But if it doesn't go well, they might move him up, move the kids back down. But I don't really know in terms of where this moves the Rangers. It makes them a little bit better. I don't know if it's like this is enough to put us over the edge. The only thing I think that would put us over the edge would be Lafreniere and Kakko and Hedl taking that next step.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fully fair statement.
So.
And now Mackenzie Blackwood, 2 year, $4.7 million contract with the San Jose Sharks. Will he start there?
That's tough. I mean, Sharks, there's a lot going on with them.
Will he start in San Jose is the question. I guess we'll find out once the season comes. But Jonathan Quick now. More goaltender signings. Igor's backup. Johnny Q, the 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
That's a bittersweet one as a Rangers fan, obviously.
Because he's the one who was
took us down
the
in
Kings goaltender in the Stanley Cup final.
Indeed. So it's interesting it's going to be really wild first time seeing him in a Rangers jersey. Just letting all those thoughts go through my head. But In hockey, just current hockey-wise, I think it's a good move. Easy, solid. You'd be a solid backup.
Solid
So I like
backup.
it.
Hopefully, he has to come out during the playoffs. Now, the Pens get Matt Nieto, 2-year, $1.8 million deal. Pittsburgh, AJ's Pittsburgh Penguins making some solid moves. They're in trade talks as well. And you mentioned it, Freddie Anderson, 2 years, $6.8 million contract with the Canes. He's that guy. And this Canes team can win games. They're good.
They are good.
But they're good enough. They've been getting better. I feel like they've done better every year, though. The past 3 years, they've continued to do better.
I feel like their team gets better, like on paper, like Burns and now
They're
got
slowly progressing.
yeah.
They're getting very slow progress, but it's progress. It's still progress.
they just gotta make it over the hump. They haven't even got to the finals. They always keep on coming up short
They
in the
made
Eastern
second
Conference.
round 3 years ago.
Their next step is
Second round 2 years ago, and then last year Eastern Conference Final sweep, but they made it that far.
Yeah, that's right.
Buffalo signing Tyson Yost, 1 year, $2 million. Solid player, and I think is it an overpay? I don't know.
I think it's. I've seen worse
Goaltenders
contracts.
get money in this league, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Jonas Corposalo, Ottawa Senators, 5 years, $20 million. 5 years, $20 million contract.
Yeah, they're hoping he could be their guy.
He's
the future.
absolutely. That's what exactly because they don't have a goaltender like they don't have like a goaltender.
Yeah,
They got some solid guys, but now Corposalo is a really good player, and now he's going to be Ottawa's future in the netminder of all netminders. Moving back over to Buffalo, Eric Johnson, 1 year, $3.25 million. Now, how do you feel about this one?
this is Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson, a Sabre.
Yeah, but Buffalo, good. I think they could make something this year. Maybe have a wild card push. I liked what they were doing. Tage Thompson, obviously a superstar now.
Yeah.
He really blossomed this year. So
Now-
I think this is a good, solid move to support it.
Here's my favorite signing of the full thing. My man Radko Gudas, a Panther for 3 years, monster hit machine, just a dog on defense, right?
Yeah,
3 year, $12 million contract with the Anaheim Ducks. $4 million a season for a third line defenseman who doesn't even score, rack up any sort of offensive production usually, not really. He's
No.
just $4 million to go hit people into the
That's
boards.
right.
I am so happy for this man. Like, Anaheim, appreciate you for giving Radko Gudas the bag.
they were handing it out too. We got another. They gave Alex Cloran, which
Oh, we'll get
was
to that
a
one too, yeah.
crazy. I feel like that's a crazy contract.
Like,
that is
Gudas is
4 years, 6.25 average. I think
Wow.
that is probably my least favorite signing of all of them.
But
I think that was
Gudas,
crazy.
3 years, $12 million. For a man to go run people in the ground, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So
I've been watching the
between
Ducks games.
those two, they're a good, exciting young team. They got a lot of young guys, but I feel like they're not going to make the playoffs or compete next year. Probably this is a 2-3 year thing. These guys aren't under contract for that long, but
I hear you.
I didn't understand it, especially the Cloran for 6.25 million.
Yeah,
I thought that was crazy.
Morgan Geekie, 2 year, $4 million from the Boston Bruins. Solid guy, heading over to Boston from Seattle. And we got some more goaltenders. Connor Brown here with the Oilers. Jamie Reimer, 1 year, 1.5 deal with the Detroit Red Wings. Reimer, he was a Florida Panther for a bit, and he was solid, but he's okay. Like, he's just a solid guy. Connor Clifton, signing with the Buffalo Sabres for 3 years, $10 million. Good money for Connie Clifton. Connor Clifton there.
Attaboy.
Best name in hockey. Bedard
Yeah.
has that name. McDavid has that name. Oh, we're stopping draft talks right now. I got to ask you something. Who's the best player in the league?
In the NHL right now?
Yeah.
Connor McDavid.
This guy, my boy Kai yesterday, he goes, McJesus, he ain't the best player in the league, though. And I was like, what do you mean?
I thought when you first asked me that question, I was like, what league are we talking? Because I feel like it's such an obvious answer
Right?
for
It
the
is. He's
NHL.
like- he goes on to be like, Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane, he might be living back in.
I feel like
2012.
living back in a few years back or something because I was like, excuse me, Connor McDavid. But then after that, I went on to say Connor McDavid is better at hockey than LeBron is at basketball.
That takes more thinking. That's not a clear cut answer.
And he said that was egregious. He said McDavid was the fastest skater in the league, but is he the best player in the league?
Nah, he's definitely the best player. In the league.
He's definitely the best player.
It's no doubt.
How is that even like?
It's not even discussion. That I was baffled by that.
But the LeBron thing, I listen. I think Connor McDavid is genuinely better at hockey
That's a good question, though.
than LeBron is at
'Cause
basketball. And I think LeBron is like maybe. Well, actually, now hold on. I don't know about this one now. I'm saying it out loud now.
That's a hard one because there's years in difference here.
Yeah, I'm saying this out loud. Maybe by the time Connor McDavid is done,
Yeah, we could maybe compare that.
Totally do that. Yeah, 3-time MVP winner, 153 points in a season. How do you feel about him getting a 5th place MVP vote as well?
Yeah, who I did hear about that. That is crazy. I want to know who did that. I really want to know.
Pasternak first, and McDavid got.
I want to know who on the earth that is respected enough to be able to vote for this, and hockey was able to say that. I thought that was crazy.
Literally.
But for this LeBron debate, Connor's gonna have to get some championships in his resume. Definitely, he's gonna need those.
No doubt. So moving up here now, down the list, Kyle Burrows, 3-year, $3.3 million deal with the Sharks. He's a guy from Vancouver, which they need to fix everything.
Yeah.
They need to fix everything. Gustav Nyquist, still getting the bag.
Yeah,
this guy is probably how old?
I think is 34. I was just looking at it.
And the Nashville Predators.
The Nashville Predators.
They're not trying to get younger.
They're not.
2 years, $6.3 million as well.
I don't know.
So it's not even like it's just a tiny contract.
I don't think it's going to work out for them, if I'm being honest.
That's
I don't
bag.
see it.
Like, that's a bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't see what they're doing right now.
This one hurts my heart, but it's all right. Alex Lyon, 2-year, $1.8 million, solid goalie backup numbers from the Detroit Red Wings. The Lion King from Florida. This man got them to the playoffs.
That's awesome.
Got them to the playoffs.
Cool. I like the combo of the
Lion
name there.
King.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, he got them to the playoffs with that final season push, and then Sergei Bobrovsky came back in time for the Stanley Cup final push. But I'll forever respect Alex Lyon. He got thrust in there when everyone was hurt. Spencer Knight was in the player assistance program. Sergei Bobrovsky was injured, so this guy comes in and wins 5 straight and then gets this team to the playoffs. Like, incredible. Thank you, Alex Lyon. And go. Just remember to play bad like 3 times a year when Florida plays Detroit.
So Spencer Knight, is he going to be back?
He's back now.
Yeah.
He's already reinstated. He's going to be back. 2 signings for the Canucks. Teddy Bluger, 1 year, 1.9, and then Ian Cole, 1 year, $3 million.
Yeah, those were. I like Ian Cole. I think has been a player you've been waiting for to take the next step for the last couple of years. He was on the Canes and the Lightning. It's always been solid. So I think he might be able to shine in Vancouver. And Teddy Bluger, a nice 3rd line center. I think that's solid.
All right, so now next one up here on this giant free agency list because it's massive.
Yeah.
It is absolutely massive. Justin Hall, 3-year. Here's the numbers. 3 years. I have to do math in my head real quick. Over $10 million. 3 years. I think it's 3 years, $10.2 million for Justin Hall from Toronto.
Yeah, that's.
This one guy commented, I thought Steve Yzerman was a good GM.
Yeah, the Yzer plan, they call it. I'm a fan of him.
What's the Yzer plan?
The Yzer plan. It seems to always be changing. He always changes up a strategy. And maybe one day they'll get there. I don't know. How many years has it been now? He's been the
GM of the Red Wings?
It's been a while.
Let's look it up. Let's use this thing called the internet. Steve Yzerman. 22 seasons playing with the Red Wings. Wow.
That is crazy. And
22?
now he's been, I don't know how many as a GM.
Okay. So, he retired in 2006. He was named the vice president of the Red Wings in the same year. He was on their championship team as an executive. But as far as the GM, he became the GM of the Lightning. and he was there until 2018. So Yzerman's been the GM of the Red Wings for 4 years now, since 2019.
So he's been, how many years? Was it 18 he played? Or with them?
22.
22. So he's been a total of 26 years.
22, and then he was the GM of the Lightning for like 8 years. Long time there.
That's crazy.
And then now 4 with the Red Wings. So he set up the Lightning run. He was there until they got to the everything. He got fired or whatever, let go. I don't know. Right before it all just exploded.
And then he gets none of the he gets none of the props for that. But he set it up, kind of like the Sixers GM who drafted Joel Embiid, trust the process, and then he got fired.
Hinkie.
Yeah, something like that, and then they go off.
So now Florida's signing Mike Riley, 1-year deal with the Cats, $1 million. Not really sure who this guy is, but he's probably gonna be a fourth liner because the Cats have a loaded top three lines, and no one really ever fits in there. But Evan Rodriguez is definitely gonna fit in there.
Yeah.
But Mike Riley's definitely a fourth line depth kind of guy. Dmitry Orlov, 2 years, $15.5 million to play defenseman for the Carolina Hurricanes.
I don't know I really don't know where they get this money. They have so many guys on their team that are like Brett Burns got to be getting a lot. I don't know if Shmechnikov's gotten a new contract yet, but their team is stacked and they continue to hand out the money. This was crazy.
So that's a deal. That's money, but is he worth that money now?
I don't. $8 million.
Dude, that's
pretty steep.
That's
steep. You're asking a lot there. You need
I think
need a lot.
Chuck makes 9.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm taking to Chuck every day of the week. For that money.
Ryan Poling, 1 year, $1.4 million deal. He is a Pittsburgh Penguin. So AJ, he goes across the state, gets a little closer to New Jersey. Carson Soucy, however you say it, 3 years. And he is getting $9.75 million from the Vancouver Canucks. One signing there. It's an overpay, but that's what you have to do in free agency.
I think, and especially now with the new cap rule, you got to be over that percentage. I think that's when they tossed in a little extra there to get him over.
Max Pacioretty, just 1 year, $2 million. With the Washington Capitals.
So he's
staying in the Metro, but reverting to a different. He's making, not that Carolina's getting weaker, but he's going to Washington for a bigger role. Maybe.
But he's got to be close to 35.
Pacioretty?
Yeah.
Let's check it out.
And he's coming off the torn Achilles, I believe it was last year.
That was Svechnikov.
Right? I think Pacioretty also got hurt season ending.
Dude, hold on. Okay, hold on. We going. Everything is going everywhere right now. So Pacioretty is 34, but he will be 35 come November. Yeah. So yes, this is age 35 season. Injuries. This season, did he tore his ACL? He tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
January 19th. So he's not even going to be back by the season starting. Then, right?
Probably gonna miss some time. Yeah.
Well, then again, Cam Akers tore his Achilles in preseason and somehow came back for the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I think he. I always joke about that one and say he went to Mexico, got one of those new experimental treatments or something to come back that fast.
That was ridiculous.
That was crazy.
But Washington, dude, the Metro just goes crazy. Like literally.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and then being a fan of a team in the Metro, you hate to see it. It keeps on getting stacked.
Okay, here's a solid signing. Now, Florida is giving one of their AHLers a one-way. 2-year, $1.4 million contract for Grigory Denisenko. They've been raving about this kid for years now, and he's finally getting his chance to play strictly Panthers hockey. No more Checkers hockey. No more AHL Checkers hockey for him.
Is that their name, the Panthers affiliate?
Yeah, the Checkers.
That's awesome.
So
I like that.
He's now one way with Florida. This could be a steal. He's not even making $1 million a season, and he could be nasty. So they've been raving about him. So I'm ready. But to bring him up, they had to lose Givani Smith. Givani Smith was on the Cats' fourth line last year, and he got hurt at some point. But he's now going to San Jose for 2 years and $1.6 million. So he's making more than Denisenko, and Denisenko totally has the skills to be a better player, so this could be a steal. Not that that's a lot of money for Smith, but like it's just a good move for Florida because they also signed Nico Mikkola.
Yeah, Nico Mikula was on the Rangers this year. Trade for him at the deadline.
3 years, $7.5 million.
That's solid for he's gonna be coming there being the sixth defenseman. I think he's solid, nice and
Tell me
solid.
what I can expect.
He's a tall, physical guy. You're getting a lot more. He's not giving you much on the offensive end at all.
We
But
lost Gudis, so is he the Gudis?
he could. I could see that. I think that's actually a smart little budget move there.
And he's making 1.5 mil less than Gudis per season.
Yeah, I think I like that a lot for them. I think that's a solid move.
Nico Mikkola to Florida. I'm ready. And Connor Sheary, 3 years, $6 million to Tampa Bay Lightning. So, well, actually 3 years, or $9 million. So, I don't know. So, whatever. And Cam Talbot is still getting signed. 1 year deal with the Kings.
Still kicking.
$1 million.
It's solid. Nice backup.
They signed 5 players, or like 6. I don't even know. Andreas Englund, 2 years, $2 million. Trevor Lewis, 1 year, $775K. James Anderson Dolan. I think it's Josh Anderson Dolan, right?
Yeah.
Wait, I don't even remember who. I don't even remember who. Hold on, I'm about to look it up. Jarrett Anderson Dolan. Boom. 1 year, $7.75 million. And Mikhail Maltsev, same contract. Bunch of Kings players getting signed. And then finally, Matt Duchene. A 1 year, $3 million deal with the Stars. That could get them over the lip right there.
Yeah, I like the Stars team was good. They had made it
the
around.
Stanley Cup final. They were the second best team in the playoffs last year. I honestly think Florida, they didn't do it. Like Dallas gave Vegas more of a fight than the Cats.
Yeah, for sure.
So like this right here could definitely take care of business, but like the best teams just keep getting better this offseason.
I like the Stars in the West this year. I honestly, I don't know. It's a little bit early, but they might be my pick to win.
They're the too early favorite pick.
Yeah, I like them out of the West.
Troy Stetcher, 1 year, $1.1 million deal with the Coyotes. So he'll be playing at Pike this year. Daniel Sprong, 1 year, $2 million deal with the Red Wings. But they still signed Justin Hall to a $10 million contract, so that doesn't help too much. So Kevin Shattenkirk and Patrick Brown both end up in Boston. Shattenkirk was a solid defenseman a couple years back.
He was. Rangers gave him once upon a time a huge contract and bought him out.
So thoughts on Shattenkirk?
So
how's he gonna do for Boston?
What does he do for Boston? He could give you a little bit on the offensive end. Nothing like Dmitry Orlov or Dmitry Skorlov, his nickname. But
Dmitry Skorlov.
Yeah, he's not
that.
giving you anything like that. But I think he could be a solid. I assume he'll be on their third D pairing. I think he could. That's pretty solid.
Dude, I'm gonna keep rolling through this because there's just so much. Boom! Here's the Penguins one. Jason Zucker. 1 year with the Coyotes. Do you know the number?
They believe 4.5. I think
5.3.
5.3. I'm gonna label that one as a getting over the cap for that one because that is.
Is he that good?
He's solid. He's a solid player. He's probably
$5 million.
He's probably like a $2.5-3 million player.
Okay, that's why it's a 1 year contract.
And they give it a little bump to get over the.
Here's another Carolina Hurricanes contract. Michael Bunting.
Yeah.
3 years, $13.5 million.
And they're giving out money. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it. I mean, is cap real? I don't know.
Is cap real, guys? Comment down below. Is cap real?
Yeah.
We need to know. Let's move over to some Ranger signings. Nick Bonino and Tyler Pitlick. Thoughts?
Those are the guys are going to compete to be on the fourth line. I think we got to figure out, get a nice solid fourth line, give teams problems, just make them not want to play against them. We need guys that are tough, that'll forecheck. I think those guys could fill that role. So I'm pretty, and for it's $800K, $750K, there's no risk in any of those signings. It's all 1 year, So if it doesn't work out, it's fine.
Now moving on here, that's some Rangers talk. We got Matthew Highmore, Garrett Pylan to the Senators. We got Brogan Rafferty to the he has a 2-way contract. So who cares about 2 ways? But he's still got a 2-year deal with the Red Wings. Cody Glass, 2-year, $5 million with the Predators.
He's got to be pretty old by now. Let's see. I love pointing that out. Let's see.
Yeah. All right. Internet money.
Oh, well, I was completely wrong. I must have been thinking about somebody else, clearly, because he's only 24.
Yeah, he didn't look that. He didn't look that. Cody Glass ain't that old of a dude.
I completely missed on that one.
So now I'm going to keep moving on here. Ryan Donato, 2-year, $4 million with the Blackhawks. Easy contract.
From the Kraken.
Yes, from the Kraken.
Yeah, I like him. Good player.
Mac, I can't even say this dude's last name. Masieshern, 2-year. It's a 2-way. But here's Vlad Nemestikov going back to the Winnipeg Jets for $4 million in 2 years. A San Jose Sharks legend.
Rangers legend, too. The Rangers drafted him.
Hey, okay.
And
What?
They just couldn't. That was a weird time for the Rangers. That was like the beginning of Mika Zibanejad being here when he was still not what he is today. And they had just kind of had a bunch of guys. That's when the Rangers were in the rebuilding phase a couple of years ago. So it was interesting.
Here's a funny one. Jonas Johansson to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a year. I love that so much. You don't understand why. This man was Florida's goaltender, and he was just like a circle, just a practice shot net. Like
he wasn't moving,
dude. So now he's on Tampa. I hope Andre Vasilevsky needs a day off against Florida, bro, because JoJo will get lit up like a firework on the 3rd of July.
I gotta remember that so when that happens, I gotta make a crazy bet on the Panthers that day.
I hope it happens. He's going to get lit up like a firework. Not even on the 4th of July, 3rd, the day before at midnight. The
Panthers.
First firework.
Panthers over 4.5 goals is a lock
dude,
on that night.
Oh, dude, Mambo number 5 is a lock. Not even a doubt. So let's move on some more here. Laurent Brossoit, 1 year, $1.75 million contract with the Jets. He also returns back home. Nick Bjugstad, a Cats legend. This was when I first started watching the Cats. This guy was my favorite player. Why? He just scored a solid amount. 2 years, $4.2 million deal with the Arizona Coyotes. He's going back to play at Pike.
Yeah, he was there, right? He was there.
Not a re-sign. He took 1 year in Edmonton.
Wow.
And now he's back with the Yotes. He was just there,
yeah,
but now he's back.
Now he's back. Yeah, he missed the frat parties at Pike.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't now? Jeffrey Vale, 1 year, $7 million with the Jets. $7 million. I said $7 million. $700K. My bad. Alex Killorn, here it is. 4 years. Let's do the math. $25 million contract with the Ducks.
It's something like 6 point something.
Yeah, 4 year, $25 million.
That is mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. Not only the money, just like I don't understand how he fits into the Ducks. Maybe because he's a veteran guy. He's been with all those Tampa championships, so he's got all the playoff experience in the world that you could want. But is that enough to justify $6.2 million? I don't think so.
Listen, that's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion right there. That's a man who does work. But $25 million is a lot of money.
That is.
It's a quarter of $100 million.
That's a lot.
Anthony Stoll. Okay, here's some Cat signings. Anthony Stolarz, backup goaltender, is going to be signing. And Lucas Carlson's back on a 1-year deal. He was like the 6th D-man that President's Trophy season. But last year he didn't play at all. So I don't know what's the deal with Lucas Carlson. It's just going to be... It's a 2-way, so he's definitely going to be down with the Charlotte Checkers. No doubt about that.
The Charlotte Checkers get a nice player there.
Nola Chari. Cookie. This is a Cats legend. He played for 2 years when I've been watching. Cookie Achari, because this man had... I don't know why that's his nickname. I don't know why.
I like it.
But his nickname is Cookie. 3 years, $6 million deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He's a solid third, fourth line forward. And he's going to get right there with the Pens. It's that simple. So, AJ, enjoy Cookie. This man, one time, best highlight of his career. Bobrovsky goes down. This man gets in front of net and he saves the puck. He pulls a defenseman save, puts his body on the line for this team. And that's my favorite Cookie highlight ever in the history of that man's career. But the Penguins signed their actual goaltender, Tristan Jarry, to a 5-year, 26 and a half, I think, $1 million contract.
That's a big investment, and he has struggled staying healthy. That's been his main problem.
Listen, man, it's the Kyle Dubas era.
It is.
But it's not just Jarry. The backup goaltender they signed, Alex Nedeljkovic. Keep in mind, this man was a Vezina candidate his rookie year, I think. And definitely a Calder candidate, too. I don't know if he was Vezina, but definitely Calder. And a 1-year, $1.5 million contract. So they just signed 2 goaltenders in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was back-to-back on the same day.
And then they signed Ryan Graves to a 6-year, $26 million contract.
They're handing out the money. Handing it out.
One day, just boom, boom, boom.
Handing out the years.
3
That's
minutes.
6-year contract for Graves, 5 years for Jarry. They're handing out the years.
AJ chasing the bag, just like his team is chasing the bag. I love making that AJ joke because, like, I don't know, I just like doing it. Milan Lucic, 1 year, $1 million for the Boston Bruins.
Back in Boston.
Back in Boston, $500K with bonuses as well.
That is crazy. I didn't think I'd see that again. Him being back in Boston, but and you know, Rangers Bruins got a little bit of a rivalry. Every time we play, it's a good hard game.
I feel that.
And he's gonna be trying to take us out.
Ooh, boy. Alex Galchenyuk, 1 year, $775K, back at Pike, returning to the desert. Mason Geertsen headed over to the Vegas Golden Knights.
That's a Rangers and Devils legend.
That's so Utica Comets legend right there.
Yeah, wow.
Now, one of my favorite signings, a Florida Panther from my childhood. I'm talking, I was 12 years old when this guy was on the team. Returning to Florida, Dmitry Kulikov, 1 year, $1 million contract. Last time he played for Florida, they had the old unis.
He's trying to remember.
All this time.
It was complete. They had a different logo too back then, right?
Yeah, they had yes, the reverse retro logo is the one they had back then, and now he's a 1 year. I don't know where he's gonna fit in on the defense because this man, now that this mic just fell, because like obviously I feel like Mikola's gonna play for real.
Yeah.
Maybe second line for Mikola, honestly.
You think you'd be in the second pairing?
Okay, so here's what it is. First line is gonna be Forsling. Okay, is Mikola a righty?
He is a lefty.
That he's playing second line then, because, bro, let me tell you, this man, Paul Maurice, wants a lefty on the left side of the defense and a righty on the right side,
Yeah.
so badly, right? So that's why Gudas was third line, literally. If this man's a lefty stick defenseman, he's playing second line.
Well, I think they're hoping a lot for him to
'Cause
do
they
that.
lost
I think it's
Mark Stahl.
possible. I like him. I had no problems with him on the Rangers.
Nah, he's playing second line.
Yeah.
He's going to be right there with Brandon Montour on that second line of defense. There's no doubt. Dmitry Kulikov is also a lefty, though. So maybe Kulikov plays second line and Mikola plays third line. I don't know.
A lot of options, though. It's good to have options.
Whichever one is better offensively will play second line. Because Mark Stahl was the third. Or actually, no, Mark Stahl was second line last year, I think. With No, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Who was with
either.
Montour? I don't remember. I'm struggling. Whatever. Miles Wood. Big contract.
6 years, right?
6 years and $15 million with the Colorado Avalanche.
That's, him, was it 2 or 3 a year?
2.5.
2.5? I think that's solid. I think that's fine.
And now to the biggest thing in the world. Goaltending brings the bag. Ilya Sorokin, 8 years, $66 million.
Wow. That just wow. I mean, but I think it is deserved. I think he is that good. I said it earlier on a earlier episode of the show when I was on that I wanted him to win the Vezina this year. Obviously, it was going to be tough with what Omar did, but I think he's worth every penny of that contract.
dude. $66 million is the biggest number we've brought up today. That's a fact. I don't think there's no.
I don't think anybody beat that.
A bridge deal for Bowen Byram here. 2 years, $7.7 million with the Colorado Avalanche. A re-signing. Pierre Engvall. A re-sign, 7 years, $21 million.
Yeah, that is Lou was handing out big years to everybody. 8 for Sorokin, 7 years for Scott Mayfield, 7 for Engvall. He's talking to the agents and they're debating and he's like, I'll see you in another 7 years. Sign this contract and I don't gotta talk to you for another 7 years.
Like, bro, what? Why? Johnny Druin, 1 year deal with the Colorado Avalanche, $825K. My mistake. Fuck. Oh man, let me dump myself real quick. We got her cursing on air. You know how it is. So, Lars Eller. Pittsburgh Penguins signed this man to a 2-year, almost $5 million contract. Lars Eller was solid in Colorado. And now this man gets to be a Pittsburgh Penguin. Dude, going through every deal is a lot, but why not?
Yeah.
What else do we have to talk about?
We got 2 hours.
Brian Dumoulin, 2 years, $6.3 million for Seattle. They make a move there. They're going to get better. They've lost some players this free agency, but they're going to get better here.
I think you got to be happy as a Kraken fan. Well, you're a fan of a new team.
You can't not be happy.
You can, and they were in the playoffs. So I think they're on the right track for sure.
Now I see that Scott Mayfield contract, 7 years, $24 million?
He's
something like that?
He's hanging out the $7 million 7-year contracts. Everybody gets one.
And now here's a Red Wings one. JT Compher, 5 years, $25.5 million.
The eyes are playing. I don't know about that one. That's a lot. He's a solid player.
But yeah,
obviously
that is
he's pretty
lot.
good. But I think that's a lot.
Semyon Varlamov, another 4-year contract for the backup goaltender. 4 years for the backup goaltender. Keep in mind, Varlamov was the starter until Sorokin took his job, I think. That's how it went.
Yeah, Sorokin was younger, and he was been in the league and been good, Varlamov.
And 4 years, this is a it's like a $11 million contract. Literally.
12.
11 mil for Varlamov.
Backup goaltending gets the bag.
Gets the bag.
That's the lesson of the episode.
Moving on. Your thought, Rangers signings. Eric Gustafsson and Alex Belzile?
I think Gustafsson is going to be the Nico Mikkola replacement.
Okay.
You'll probably slot into the 6th D-man. He's going to be playing with Braden Schneider. I think Rangers blue line, at this point now, I think it's the strength of the team. You got Fox and Lindgren. You got Trouba and Millard. We just brought him back on a bridge deal. And I think Keandre Miller is going to be very good. I predict, here's one thing I will say about him and his bridge deal. He got 2 years, $3.4 million, and everybody in the comments was like, that's a massive overpay. I predict we're going to come back in 2025 when he's going to be unrestricted free agent, and he's going to get more than that. That's my prediction. We'll come back to that in 2 years.
In 2 years, we'll come back to this one. I will be
gone
gone by then, but hopefully we'll remember and somebody's taking over. Okay. Okay, let's move on here now. William Lockwood on the Cats, 2 years. John Klingberg, 1 year, $4.1 million with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Back-to-back 1-year contracts for this guy. When's the long-term deal coming, John? When? Alexander True, 1-year deal with the Cats. Fabian Zetterlund, 2 years, $1.45 million per season. Solid 4th-line contract guy. But he'll probably be, honestly, he might be. It's a 2-way, though, so.
That's interesting. That's a lot for a 2-way. No?
Yeah.
1.45?
Alexander Carrier, 1 year, $2.5 million for Nashville. Alex Kerfoot, 2 years, $7 million, going to the Arizona Coyotes.
Arizona, I think they made the most. I feel like we've talked about the Coyotes
So much.
Yeah, they're handing out the money.
And now here's a sad one for me. Anthony Duclair got traded. That was a guy that I watched for 3 years, His first season in Florida could have been better. His second season in Florida, on fire. Last year, injured and got going in the playoffs finally. But it just wasn't enough. And they traded him for Steven Lawrence in a fifth to San Jose. So the Duke era in Florida ends after 3 seasons. And I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed Anthony Duclair so much on the ice. He was first line at times, but he really found his calling card of that second line, I'm pretty sure. That was like where he made his money last in the President's Trophy season. Huberdeau. But have fun in San Jose. Just remember to play bad twice a season, bro. Shane Gostisbehere, 1 year, $4.1 million with the Detroit Red Wings. Now, that's a move.
That's another one. Another Yzerman handing out the bag. He's this season, he's saying we are not holding anything back. We are letting the money fly. He's letting it fly all over. It is crazy. But Gostisbehere, he was with the Coyotes, I believe, this year, right? And then he got traded to the Canes.
This year.
He got traded, I think, to the Canes at the deadline. So he kind of reinvigorated his career with the Coyotes, like was playing pretty well and got traded to the Canes. He at one point with the Flyers, he was one of the top guys in the league.
Fair.
So
that's so fair.
Maybe he could get back to that with Stevie Yzerman.
So now, give me thoughts on these Rangers signings here. Connor Mackey and Nicholas Brouillard.
Those are guys that are probably hoping to make the team. I don't think those are going to be anything. Yeah, probably hoping to make the fourth line.
Philadelphia now, Garnett Hathaway, 2 years, $4.7 million with the Flyers. And then Rhett Gardner, 2-year contract, a little over $1 million and a half. Garnett Hathaway, is he a defenseman or a forward? He's a forward, right?
I think so. He was with the Capitals.
And then got traded to the Bruins deadline.
Wow.
They didn't keep nobody. They didn't keep nobody.
I want to look this up. Apparently, they are going to have a lot of cap space next year.
Let's check it out.
That's what the Bruins fans are saying.
So I'm going to hit you with a, let's see, where is it? Do I have it on this page? No. While you look that up, I'm going to hit you with a, where is it? Dude, where is it? Where is it? Come on. There it is. Did you find it?
They're gonna have 30. I found it.
They are gonna have
$30 million in cap space.
Yo, that's a lot of money in the NHL, especially. In the NBA, that's one player, but
yeah, they also. I think Bergeron is still out there. It's still without a contract.
Oh, Patrice, come to Florida, kid. Come to Florida. Him and Barkov would be the best defensive forward duo.
That would be
Christ the earth. No one would score goals against that front four. Dude. Oh man. All right. Down the line, we go. Christian Fischer, 1 year, $1.1 million deal with the Red Wings. Give me a thought on Mac Hollowell.
Completely honest, I have never heard that name.
Well, he's a defenseman. Signing a 2-way with their New York Rangers.
Well, good luck to you, Mac. So hopefully your goal should be for me to learn your name.
Wow.
Hopefully we can make
what a statement on air. Here's the big one for the Cats. Evan Rodriguez, 4-year, $12 million deal. This is the Duclair replacement. He was half a point a game for last few years, so solid numbers. If he can really turn to the next step, though, with Florida. I had this guy on my fantasy team 2 years ago.
He's pretty solid defensively, too. I know him from the Penguins.
Yeah.
He's a solid two-way guy. I like him as a player.
Like, I like it. I'm here. I'm ready for it. Evan Rodriguez, the replacement of the man Anthony Duclair, and with Florida, he was on Colorado's championship team or no?
Oh, I don't know. He might have. No, I don't think so. I believe he was on the Penguins when the Rangers played them in that series.
Okay, got it. Yeah, he was. He was definitely on the team. Okay. So, Jack Johnson now, 1-year contract with the same Colorado Avalanche. And now we're getting some smaller deals here. Smaller contracts. Here's a good one. Kyler Yamamoto. 1 year, $1.5 million with the Kraken. Wasn't this the guy that all the Oilers fans were saying was...
Yeah. They were trying to lead him on to be somebody, that could play with Connor and help them, but clearly did not work. They traded him, and I believe to the Red Wings, and the Red Wings bought him out, and now he's signed with the Kraken.
Now here's a favorite one. Tyler Bertuzzi. 1 year, $5.5 million with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That is something that we were on older episodes talking about. What could the Leafs do to get over this hump and maybe try to do something in the playoffs? And at least they finally ended the first round streak this year.
As you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll get into more of that Tyler Bertuzzi contract next here on Breaking the Ice. And we are back here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is Breaking the Ice. Connor Cupin and Matt Vitale in studio right now talking about Tyler Bertuzzi. A 1 year, $5.5 million contract. Is this just a little bit of a 1 year deal? He's going to get the bag next year?
He might sign for longer. I was saying earlier, I like the move for the Leafs. I think maybe that's something that gets them over the hump that they've playoff success have not had it, and I think Bertuzzi could help them.
He was on fire last year, unreal in that playoff series against the Cats. One of the highlights, best trade they might have made last year, but Boston didn't keep nobody. Now he's in Toronto. He's going to change that team, but they're still going to lose because they're the Toronto Leafs. So Bertuzzi gets the bag next year, maybe. I'll like to see where he ends up. So let's keep going down the line. We got so much to cover. Malcolm Subban, 1 year deal with the St. Louis Blues. Just, you can't ignore Malcolm Subban contract.
He's a legend.
That's
an NHL legend.
No doubt about that. Riley Nash to the Rangers. 2 years. $1.5 million, a two-way in year 2, but 1 year in year 1.
I expect him to be on the team. He'll probably make the fourth line, at least to start the year. He's over 30. He's got a lot of experience. But that's another guy for the Rangers, another older guy. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't understand the plan, but for fourth line-wise, I think that's fine.
Red Wings signed Tim Gettinger, 1 year, $775K. And we had a trade here. A Lightning and Wild trade. Hear this one. Maxim Kakovich and Pat Maroon for a 7th.
That's just a cap dump for...
And 20% retained on Maroon.
Yeah, so they still had to keep a little bit, but were able to get most of it off the books. So.
Because Patty Maroon is that guy.
He wins. That's what he does.
And now, another Leafs signing, Max Domi, 1 year, $3 million.
I like that. I thought he was good. He started with the Blackhawks,
and then got traded to the Stars. Deadline, and everyone's just going Toronto now. They're going.
Yeah. They're trying. They're trying hard, and I think that they need that. They need to make the move. They got to get over the hump. They've been struggling, and they're a huge hockey town. They got one of the biggest, most passionate fan bases in the league. They need to win, and I like what they're doing.
And Domi will certainly help them do such things. Like, he is a good player. Moving over here, Mark Stahl. 1 year, $1.1 million with the Flyers. Let me tell you guys something. I watched Mark Stahl all year this year. Doesn't do a single thing offensively. That's a promise, okay? I don't think he put up 1 point in the playoffs. I don't think he put up 1. But he'll play defense. He'll play on the ice. He won't get injured. And he'll throw the body. That is the Mark Stahl way. That is what he is there for.
At this age in his career, but he's still. I couldn't believe that he was playing those many minutes, meaningful minutes for the Panthers, especially in that overtime game.
Oh, that overtime game.
And I was like, how is Mark Stahl still skating right now? He was able to push through. It was a sight to see.
So, I'm skipping past every contract. I want to get to the good ones here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for the ones.
One big thing we haven't talked about, Alex DeBrincat
I'll
trade.
get to DeBrincat.
Yeah.
Don't even worry.
We'll save that one for later. But
Saving that one for later here. But let's go with Travis Hamonic. 2 years, $2.2 million re-sign with the Ottawa Senators. A defenseman. He's gonna help them take care of business. Oh, here's one I gotta recognize. Robert Hagg. 1 year contract with the Anaheim Ducks. This is a man who was a Florida Panther in 2022 for the President's Trophy run. He was traded for a 6th-round pick back in those days. He was quite literally just fit to round out the defense. He was the last guy on that defense. Rounded it out, but have fun in Anaheim, my man. You get to reunite with Gudis.
you get to stay in good weather.
Yeah. Martin Feravari, 3 years, around $7.8 million. A re-sign here with the Washington Capitals. Good deal for the kid. And he's going to be on his way. And let's see if I can keep moving now. Worse, I'm looking for the... Okay, now. Then all the rookies signed their contracts, like Ryan Becker. All the rookies signed their deals. And there was a ton. Rasmus Asplund to Florida. Chase Prisky to Washington. That's a former Cat as well. Dylan Sandberg, 2-year, $2.8 million contract with the Winnipeg Jets. But a lot of these contracts now, a lot of the great players had been taken care of. But
one of them caught my eye, Philip Zadina.
He got cut.
He got bought out, or cut or bought out, one of those two. And now with the Sharks, 1 year, 1.1. So I like that for both sides. He was supposed to be a big-time player. He was... the 6th pick, I think, something like that.
All right, internet time. I'm giving you more Jeopardy music. Ready? You got... Let's see how many Jeopardies it takes you to get this one.
Yeah. We're done. We
One
have
and a
figured it
half
out.
Jeopardies there.
Yeah, well, I believe, what was the last one? 3 Jeopardies? So we're improving here.
Yeah.
He was indeed the 6th overall pick in the 2018 draft.
Hey.
So, yeah, he did not work out for him, for the Red Wings, or for him. So now he is trying to reinvigorate his career with the Sharks. 1 year's $1.1 million. I think and for the Sharks, too, that's low risk, high reward, I think. He's got the potential to be great. And you're only giving him 1.1 mil and only for 1 year. So he's right off the books if it doesn't work out. And if it does, maybe you get him back on a little bridge deal or something. So I like it.
So now moving on. Anze Kopitar. 2 years, $14 million extension with the Kings. He's still making $10 million next year, so these 2 years are after that.
Wow.
3 more years in LA for the man who crushed your dreams in 2014.
He did, and he's still given great production too. I think he's still worth the $7 million. Some people are like, is he really worth $7 million anymore? So I still think so. He hasn't shown any reason not to yet. Maybe in the coming years, but
not yet, no doubt.
not yet. He's still going.
And now we're gonna announce a retirement of a player. Patrick Hornqvist, out for all of last season with a concussion, decided it's time to hang up the gloves and the skates. 3 years of Florida, had a great first season. Last 2 years, though, 4th line work, not doing much. Hornqvist is gone, and a phenomenal career. 2-time Stanley Cup champion, 36 years old, 15 seasons in the league, 543 points in 901 games, and the concussion ended his career, effectively.
Yeah, hate to see that. A great player and great career. So,
great player, great career.
congratulations to Patrick Hornqvist if you're listening to Breaking the Ice. Congratulations.
Yeah, and of course he's listening. Why wouldn't he be now? We got Vinny Hinostroza, 1 year deal with the Penguins, $775K. Former Cat, solid player. It's a one-way, so he will be playing with the Pens. I like to see that. My former Cat's getting the bread. Will Borgen, 2 year, $5.4 million extension with the Seattle Kraken, avoiding arbitration. Andreas Janssen, 1 year deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So they're making moves.
The Dubas era begins.
What'd you say?
The Dubas era for the Penguins. Champions.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The Dubas era. So now let's talk about the DeBrincat contract. 4 years. I'm going to try and do math here. This number it's 4 years, like $30 million.
Wow.
Something like that. It's like a lot of money.
That is.
It's 4 years, $31 million, something like that. For Alex DeBrincat with the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, so the trade was DeBrincat and going to Ottawa is a first, a fourth, Dominique Kubalik, and Donovan Serberenga.
How do you feel about this one, my man?
That's DeBrincat. I feel like there's been a lot of. He's had some production, but I feel like the potential is. People are saying what he could be more than what he has been, but I think he could reach that level. So I think it's and Dominique Kubalik, I believe, was like a solid prospect.
Okay.
But I don't think it's too much to give up for him for the trade, and the contract is the contract they gave him is what they're hoping he could be. So that how well he matches up to that will be if he's worth the money or not.
So now 2 Flyer signings. Noah Cates here, 2 years, $5.3 million, and then Cam York, 2 years, $3.2 million, both heading to Philadelphia. One a defenseman, one a forward, balancing it all over. And now Alex Newhook, re-signing with the Montreal Canadiens on a 4-year. It's $11.5 million for Alex Newhook. A forward, staying in Montreal. So now let's get the thoughts of my man Matt Vitale on the Keandre Miller extension of 2 years, $7.7 million.
Yeah, so that's a bridge deal. So that's solid. I think Keandre Miller is a great player. He's good on both ends. He's got the size. He's 6'6". He used to be coming up as a prospect was a forward, and now plays defense. So and you see that in his game. He's great on both sides of the ice. So I think he could be a very, very good defenseman in this league. And I think by the end of his career, he would have made an All-Star game. That would be another prediction.
Okay.
I have for him. I have very high thoughts on him. And it probably, honestly, won't be with the Rangers. He's probably, after the 2 years is up.
Where's he going then?
Probably going to go
right
somewhere else and give, I don't know. That I don't got a prediction for it. But I feel like he's going to outprice himself from the Rangers, though. That's how good I think he could be.
But is Erik Karlsson going to the Penguins? What's the deal? What's the deal here?
AJ hopes so.
Yo, AJ definitely hopes so, but like, is it gonna happen?
I got nothing prediction wise. I mean, there's obviously teams that physically can't with the money that it would take. I think the Penguins could make it happen. I don't know. I mean, what a start to the Dubas era that would be if he's able to pull it off.
Okay, the start to the Dubas era has already done some crazy things. So let's check the Breaking the Ice chat. Anyone have any takes for the show? For the show, I'll read it off right now, and then we can discuss it. Let's see if anyone says anything. The mailbag has been opened because I feel like we got everything there. We just did free agency by our absolute selves. I have no voice. I have no voice. Like
we got it done though. It was good. Hour and 20 minutes.
I just hit the typo in the chat. I put the word tails. AJ's like, "What do you mean by tails, bro?" I meant takes.
Karlsson now confirmed not coming to the Penguins for that comment.
Let's tell some tales of hockey, some stories. I was at the 2-6 Devils loss. I was at the legendary 2-6 comeback. Florida was down 2-6 in the third period with 15 minutes left, and they won the game. Greatest game I've ever been to in my life, any team ever. Like,
I got a funny one because you were talking about earlier Mark Stahl and how he can't do anything on offense. I was at a Rangers-Islanders game. I forgot what year this was. Maybe like 2015, 2014, maybe 2016, the latest. And it was at the old Coliseum. Nassau Coliseum.
Okay.
And Mark Stahl, overtime winner, It was absolutely electric. I was going crazy. That's one of my favorite moments I've been to at an actual game.
Dude, I have been to the Rock a few times for Cats games. Last one I went to, they won 4-2 against the Devils. But the 2-6 comeback was unreal, dude. Because I'm talking smack, even down. I'm talking smack being down 2-6 is a joke because I'm just that kid. But everyone else is giving it to me because it's 6-2 with 15 minutes left. First goal was like Gustav Forsling or something, or Brandon Montour. I think it was Brandon Montour, and then Gustav Forsling, and then Alexander Barkov scored one, and then he scored an empty netter. Like, because the Florida emptied their net to tie the game. And I went to overtime. Everyone mad now. Everybody mad in the Rock. And then, I forgot also. The Devils missed an empty netter. There was when they emptied the net, they missed a goal down the ice. It went wide. In overtime, Spencer Knight's now in goal. So I think Bobrovsky got pulled after he let up 6.
Yeah.
Spencer Knight came in the game, literally changed the game. Whatever Andrew Brunette said in the locker room, I don't know. But now you have, I'm trying to remember now. It was empty net. In overtime, Devils are on the attack. They hit the post. And then I just remember Gustav Forsling winning the game on the other side of the ice, and best day of my life.
That is, wow.
Because it was 2-6, and then it was 7-6. Daniel was at that game with me. But
Really?
we weren't sitting together. He just happened to be there, and I happened to be there. And I'll never let him live it down.
Yeah.
I'll never let any Devils fan that was there live it down. While I was also I just dropped my phone all over all over everywhere. You ever drop your phone all over everywhere? But that's my favorite tale. I've been to some other games as well, but nothing that I like. Nothing like that one. That's the one. Like that was the one for me.
I don't think anything, even in any other sport. I'm trying to think of where it was a crazy comeback like that I've been a part of. I've probably been on the opposite end.
He was on. Oh, have you ever seen your team blow a lead?
Oh, well, man, I'm a Jets fan, and
You are a Jets fan.
Yeah.
There it goes.
There it
He
is.
done blew it
The
wide
Jets,
open.
I mean,
But you ever seen the Rangers blow a lead? Live, in front of your face.
no, I don't think so.
Cats games I've been to, first game they just got destroyed 7-3. Second game was the comeback. Last year was just a win. So I've never seen them blow a lead. I've watched the Marlins blow a lead in front of my face. I've been to one Heat game where they it was a close game. Dolphins, have I ever watched the Dolphins blow a lead in front of my face? Don't think so, but I have watched the Marlins. I was at the Eduardo Escobar game.
I think almost worse than blowing a lead. It was the Sam Darnold seeing ghosts game against the Patriots. I was on the field before the game.
Okay.
And I have a video of me like let's go, Sam. And he goes on to say I'm seeing ghosts and throw like 4 interceptions, and that's probably my worst
Rangers game.
I went to Rangers Devils with a actually member of the Breaking the Street team, Richie Lombardi. I was there, and another one of our friends, and was not good for the Rangers. We had Alexander Gorgiev in the net, and him against the Devils is maybe one of the worst goaltenders in NHL history. I mean, and he let up. I think one of them was a bad goal, and I was pissed about it. And we lost, and I was hearing it from them. That's probably my worst Rangers moment in person.
I hear you. Sports are a great thing, man. You pay $100 to watch your team get destroyed.
Yeah.
And then you drive home, you're mad, you're like, why did I do this?
You put all the time and effort.
Dude, it's the worst investment when you go to watch your team get destroyed. It's literally the most demoralizing thing ever. But what can I say, man? We covered all of free agency. I feel like, what else is there? I think we got everything.
There's probably like some smaller ones that we missed, but
no.
And we were still even talking about some guys that I never even heard of, and we were talking about them. That's what the coverage you get on Breaking the Ice.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm not gonna cover everything because that is.
Oh, there's one. We've got Brendan Lemieux to the Canes 1 year, $800K. That is a Rangers fans know about him. Loves to drop the gloves.
Oh, okay.
loves to take penalties,
He gonna fight.
especially in the offensive zone. He'll take a penalty and piss you off about it.
He gonna fight.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
So, and now that's gonna be annoying. He's an annoying player to play against, Brendan Lemieux, and now he's gonna be in that Canes team. You got all those guys at the top, and he might be on the fourth line, just causing problems.
Just causing
Yeah.
problems. Oh, dude, you ready to run Breaking the Street back?
Oh, absolutely. We have revenge on our mind.
I
Coming.
just feel like I hope they first
One
off,
game away.
hopefully Intramurals brings back street hockey. Hope
Yeah.
that's a sport that they do.
I don't know. There was a lot of controversy. Maybe they might dump it.
Oh, dude, Daniel was sending emails. we had emails being sent, words being exchanged, players getting ejected.
We caused a lot of problems for the rec department breaking
I'm
the
fine
street.
with it though. I'm fine. I'm
And
content.
in some cases, they deserved it. They deserved the paperwork.
Like, you don't understand what we had to sit through when we got that first goal taken. Oh man,
It was
Richie
crazy.
scored that
We
goal.
scored. Yeah.
It was a delayed
Kirby
penalty,
goal.
and we scored, but there's no delayed penalties. There's just dead puck situations. So, but that was you were a D man with me as well.
Yeah.
I don't think we were on the same. I was with Tanner's D line. You had Jackson on your D
Yeah.
line.
It's me and Jackson.
Think about Jackson.
Shout out Jackson.
So Jackson, the good old Jackson Frisch, he does not have the hockey skills, but he figured out how to do it better and better. And I want him. The one team we played that ran no goalie, I wanted him to score so bad.
I had shot one from over, like from 3/4 of the, and it was on net, and one of the girls saved it. And
Did you score that season or no?
No, I didn't.
I
was
scored
trying
that
to.
game. I
I-
scored that game.
I had one assist though, and it was in the semifinals. That team that we were talking about that we got the goal disallowed
Kappa
against
Sig, we
and lost, but then we won in the semifinals.
Kappa Sig,
I assisted Ellie on his goal to win it.
Hey,
So I
he
had that,
scored
yeah.
a point, baby.
And I think I'll definitely take that over not scoring a goal.
Dude,
I'll
in
take that assist.
I
That
had
was-
one game.
That was electric on the court, on the tennis court.
on the it was a tennis court, a pickleball court. I don't even
I
know
don't
what
know.
it is. It's clay. It's clay. But in the championship, when we went empty net, we should have gone empty net in the championship. I'm dead serious because it worked. We kept
Yeah.
the puck in their zone so much. I dropped 2 assists with the net empty when it was still 7-5 though.
Yeah.
So we weren't coming back. It was too late by then. But like it would have worked if we had went empty net earlier in the game. But obviously it's not practical to do that. But we weren't getting anywhere with the way we were playing. We just weren't getting anywhere.
Yeah.
But once we emptied the net, we actually were able to. Bro, but you gotta throw the body. You gotta throw the body at street hockey.
Yeah, I mean, I would be awesome if they just completely allowed it. That also
Dude.
would have been mayhem, but it would have been a lot of fun.
We're gonna be back next.
I would've been
year.
down
We're
for it.
So be back.
We definitely got to run it
We
back.
were the only non-frat in the like the deep part of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And we took down 2 of them, I think, to get to where we got to.
Mhm.
Or no, we took down 1. We took down Kappa Sig, which was that was our championship.
That was because
I
it was
mean-
the whole. That was the biggest arc of our season, was losing to.
In
them.
that game
Yeah.
where we should have had an overtime, because it was 1-0, but it should have been 1-1,
Yeah.
and we didn't get the W, but it's fine. We didn't get the W. And okay, well, let's get away from street talk. AJ just dropped a bunch of takes. We're gonna talk on them.
That's it.
Okay, number 1. He says the Islanders will finish second to last in the division. Will they finish second to last in the division, Matt?
It's honestly not that far fetched. They did not do much, and we were talking about them. There was just a bunch of re-signings, and they were giving their guys $7 million. I don't-
Second to last, I feel.
I didn't see anybody that they brought in.
Columbus is reserved down there,
Yeah.
and the
Philadelphia.
Flyers. I feel like I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
no.
I could see them. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, the Islanders.
They could definitely miss the playoffs.
I think they're gonna. They might be in like the, like the 4th or 5th range, but I don't see second to last either.
Seattle misses the playoffs. No,
Yeah, I don't.
no.
The West is so weird though. I feel like any team could come out of anywhere in the West. The East is so much better than the West, and it's maddening as a team that's in the East. Like, I wish the Rangers were in the West. I think they would be one of the top
Listen,
teams.
the last 2 Stanley Cup champions are from the West. So
Yeah, but they
so
that is true. That is true. But I feel like the competition for the East to get there is a lot harder. From the West, they will have a good team at the top, and
Well,
they'll
apparently
just
Boston, Carolina, and the Leafs are not as good as the Vegas Golden Knights.
yeah, apparently not.
So I don't know. We sleep on the West a lot out here.
I will.
But do you think that Seattle will miss the playoffs?
No, I
I'm gonna
think
go
they're
with
gonna make it.
nah, because I think they're still the.
They
crap.
looked really good, and they're a young team, and they were able to make a lot. They're only gonna get better. I feel like.
These are all AJ's takes. This is AJ's grab bag here. So now, next one. The Nashville Predators will finish as a bottom 6 team in the NHL.
That is something I could agree with.
I'm gonna get
maybe.
behind them. Bottom 6. I feel like Arizona, Columbus, the Ducks, the Sharks reserve those
I'm trying to think.
parts of this. But the Nashville Predators bottom 6.
I think they'll at least be in that range, though. They'll be in.
Are they gonna be bottom 6 or mid?
I feel like they'll be in the. They'll probably be at like the bottom of mid and into possibly being bottom 6. I think I agree with that take more than the other two for sure.
I'm gonna go with a no on that one, just because I think they're gonna be mid.
They'll be close. I feel like
UC Soros ain't letting them be trash.
I will say my take would be that they'd be bottom 10. That's where I think they'll be.
Yossi and UC, greatest duo ever, are not gonna let the team be trash.
And they got all these veterans. I'm saying this because I didn't like what they did, like bringing in all these older guys. 'Cause I thought it looked like they were going to start bringing in the younger guys and try to rebuild a little bit.
I've disagreed on AJ's first 3 takes here. But he says he's going to defend them next week. So
Okay. We'll have to come back for that one.
Tampa Bay finishes at best wild card 1.
I agree with that. I don't think they're going to win any. Well, who in the
division? There's Boston,
yeah.
there's Toronto, and Florida. He's saying will be the top 3 teams in that division.
I think all those teams are better than Tampa. So
I'm gonna go with him on this one. You know,
I'll agree with
Tampa wild card 1, but I feel it's so wrong saying that.
yeah, I feel like that's like a dangerous team to bet against.
This is
how
you know what
successful
But
I'm still gonna do it.
Boston was just a President's Trophy winner. Florida was just in the Stanley Cup final. Toronto is
Getting better. I feel like.
this feels so wrong. Though.
I'm agreeing
Like,
with AJ here. I'm
How
putting
do I
Tampa.
go against Victor Hedman, Andrei Vasilevsky, Nikita Kucherov,
Just the track record of how good they've all been together.
3-time Eastern Conference champions in a row,
Like,
2-time Stanley Cup champions in
this
a
stuff.
row. This year they lost first round. They were the 3 seed. All right, let's slam it. Wild card 1, Tampa Bay Lightning. It's the run
Yeah.
is over. It's over.
But now say, and you got the Lightning at wild card 1, and I wouldn't be wanting to play against them.
And now they're gonna win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play against them.
Now they're gonna win the Stanley Cup because we opened our mouths. Because we decided to talk big. Okay, Cats win the Atlantic Division. Yes, of course. No.
I think
No
it's
doubt.
possible. Boston, they got worse on at least on paper this offseason.
Florida lost Duclair. They lost Gudis. Signed Mikula and Rodriguez as replacements.
And OEK.
And Ulrich and Larson will round out this team. Cats for the Atlantic. We just won the East. Now we're going for the A. We just won the A as well. We won the Atlantic in the playoffs. So let's ride. Oh boy, wait till you see the more that takes down here, he says. Okay. Devils finished with a fringe 100-point season, but are a better team come playoff time than their point total really shows.
Just looking at the Devils' top 6 is pretty good on paper. Now, that take is kind of weird. Like 100 points, like that's still good. Like
Yeah.
getting 100 points. I think that they will get 100 points. Now I don't know where they'll finish in the Metro. The Metro is just stacked.
Okay. I think I'm going to agree with him as well on this one. So now, Buffalo barely improves off of last season. Thoughts?
That's I don't know if I missed.
I'm going to go with no on this one because they're getting better. Tage Thompson's getting better. The team is gelling more.
It's a younger team, and you get them all together.
They're going to go. I think they're going to improve good.
I feel like who's their goalie?
Their goaltender? Oh, they were rocking Craig Anderson. That's the problem they have.
Yeah, I feel like they got to fix that.
But I think they're going to get better.
I kind of agree with this one. That they'll probably be in the same spot that they were. Because they're good. They're the younger guys are getting more chemistry and just getting better as hockey players. But I feel like they could have done more in the offseason, give him more help. I don't think they did. So
He
they'll probably
said-
be somewhere in the
Okay.
same range.
He says Ottawa got fleeced in the DeBrincat deal, and Detroit got got pretty better, got marginally better.
I don't know, like, what a huge trade package would be for DeBrincat. Like, what would have been? I want to know what AJ would be looking for out of that DeBrincat trade package.
Let me ask you right now, AJ, give me your DeBrincat trade pack. Let's hear it.
Oh my! Well, I just saw what he sent. He's got the Rangers at wild card 2.
All right, hold on. Let's get to that one now. Let's go down some more. Let's see. So. He says Tampa's wild card 1 is going to go Florida, Toronto, Buffalo. So no Boston. No Boston next year in the playoffs. How do you feel about that one?
Oof.
Coming off the best season ever, best regular season ever, no playoffs.
I feel like that is so hard to get behind and be like it's gonna happen, but because they were so good, but they've also lost the guys that made it like that. They still don't even have Bergeron under contract. I don't know if he's gonna be back or not, or he's also hurt. I think he's not gonna be playing the whole season. It's possible, but I don't know if I could sit here and be like they're not gonna make it. I don't know. I think they'll at least be a wild card. I also, for this, AJ's got Canes, Devils, Penguins.
And then Rangers wild card 2.
Wild card. What I would do is switch.
Let's give him a nice little bit of let's just go with
What I'd do is simply just switch the Rangers and the Penguins.
Okay.
And that'd be. I honestly, as much as it hurts me to say it, I think the Devils will be better than the Rangers next year.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, unfortunately,
There it
I have to
goes,
say that.
guys. He's giving in.
But at least in the regular season, maybe in the playoffs, the Rangers, because Rangers got the group of guys like that have been there, have been so close to winning it all and haven't. And maybe this year they finally get together and make it happen. Panarin has even shaved his head to get rid of all the bad demons, he said, or something
the
like that.
Breadman's hair is gone.
So at least, he's really bought into it. So maybe, but all about it is the playoffs. At this point for the Rangers, like, the regular season, you just got to get there, and the playoffs is where really the Rangers' success or a failure of their season is determined in the playoffs at this point, because that's the expectation for the Rangers is just the playoffs, and what happens in there is how you determine how the season went overall.
AJ says Boston retools with their cap situation being brutally tight this year. With them having about $30 million in cap next year, they'll be right back in the mix of the top teams in hockey.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier about their cap. They got a lot of room next year. So maybe they take a year off and
Take a year off, man.
come back and create, I don't know, they could create something crazy with that much money in the team that they already had in 2 years.
Possibly the AJ grab bag of tricks has given us some content to. He'll be back next week to defend all of these, so I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the AJ defense. And I hope everyone else is back next week as well for that episode. But, there's not much to talk about left. Free agency's done. I feel like we broke the ice enough today.
We did enough breaking the ice.
We didn't make it 2 hours, but it's all good. We did a solid amount.
We got what we had to get through.
All the free agency covered. Teams are making trades. Predictions being made. Everyone, it's been an honor being back in here for the first time in 4 weeks. Haven't sat in this chair since then. Connor Cupin here alongside Matt Vitale. We'll see you guys next week for more NHL updates. You've been listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This has been Breaking the Ice. Have a great day, everybody.